Sabi ho nila, kapag mainit ang ulo ng isang tao, dalawa lang ho yung posibleng dahilan kung bakit mainit yung ulo nila. Pwedeng wala siyang tulog o di kaya walang kain, puyat o gutom, sobrang pagod at antok o di kaya walang laman ng tiyan. And we have experienced that in one way or another. Either we have a lot of things to finish, we end up sleeping late or even not sleeping at all, or sometimes we forget to eat just to finish the task that we must finish. But even if we are able to get some sleep or eat some food during that work just to fill that empty stomach, it is not a guarantee that we will not experience that again. Hindi ho tayo nakakasigurado na kahit tayo nakatulog ng konti, nakakain ng konti, ay hindi na mauulit yung pag-init ng ulo natin dahil sa puyat o di kaya dahil sa gutom. In our first reading, we hear the Israelites grumbling about their situation. In fact, they were not only hungry, but they were also tired, pagod at gutom. Kaya may imagine natin yung init ng ulo nila. Nagsama yung pagod at gutom. They were not only hungry, they were not only looking for food, they were also tired of their situation in the desert. They were complaining that life was far more better in Egypt. And look at the irony of their complaints. They would prefer to go back to Egypt as slaves, but then again, they could have all the food that they want. Okay lang sa kanila na maging alipin. Okay lang sa kanila kahit sila'y nahihirapan. Okay lang sa kanila kahit sila'y pinagsasamantalahan. Basta may pagkain sila. Basta may laman yung tiyan nila. Basta hindi sila nagugutom. Okay lang yung hirap ng sitwasyon. Okay lang napahirapan sila. Basta may pagkain. They think that it would be better for them to remain as slaves rather than to become free persons simply because they have food in Egypt. And if we will just be practical, then we could also understand the situation of the Israelites. What good would it be to become free persons, to become a free nation, but just end up dead because of hunger? Aanhin mo ang kalayaan kung tumitirik naman yung mata mo sa gutom. Aanhin mo yung kalayaan kung namimilipit yung tiyan mo dahil wala itong laman. Kaya mas okay na lang na mapunta sila doon, maging alipin, may pagkain namang kapalit. If we look back at our gospel, we hear a different group of people. If the Israelites in our first reading were grumbling because of hunger, in our gospel, we hear a group of people who just had their fill. Busog sila. Yun nga yung sabi ni Jesus sa kanila, kaya nyo kami sinusundan, hindi dahil naghahanap kayo ng kababalaghan. Kaya nyo kami sinusundan dahil busog kayo. May laman yung tiyan nyo. But even if they had their differences, these two groups would also had one thing in common. They were simply concerned about their stomachs. Ano bang laman ng tiyan? Ano bang makakain? Ano bang makakapatid ng gutom? Kung babalikan ho natin yung karanasan natin, alam natin na mahirap magtrabaho pag gutom. Pwede kang mag-collapse, pwede kang mahimatay sa sobrang gutom kapag ikay nagtatrabaho. Mahirap mag-isip pag gutom, parang hindi umaandar yung utak. Pero kapag sobra din naman yung kabusugan din natin, mahirap din kumilos. Mabigat sa pakiramdam, nakakaantok, parang mas masarap humilata, mas masarap matulog kapag sobrang busog. Kapag mabigat ang tiyan, tinatamad din tayong kumilos. And if that is the case, it only means that it is not just about filling our empty stomachs. Because no matter how much food we take, we would still end up hungry in one way or another. Kahit na tayo'y mabusog, darating pa rin ang pagkakataon na para bang may hahanapin tayong pagkain. May hahanapin tayong magpupuno sa ating sarili. And there's nothing wrong to fill our empty stomachs. There's nothing wrong to fulfill our desires. Hindi naman masama na maghangad ng mga bagay na gagamitin natin. Hindi naman masama na magkaroon ng mga bagay na sa tingin natin ay makakatulong sa atin. And we even work hard for it. But Jesus reminds us, if we work hard for these things, if we work hard for these things that perishes, do we also work hard to receive Him? Minsan kapag sa trabaho, kapag overtime, may mga pagkakataon na hindi naman natin naiisip yung pagod. Mas naiisip pa nga natin, sayang yung dagdag na kikitain. Sayang sayang yung kikitain na pwede nating panggastos pa sa araw-araw. If we think that way with regards to our work, with regards to the rewards that we can take, do we also think that way when we receive Jesus in the Eucharist? Do we also think of the gift that Jesus offers us whenever we receive Him into our bodies? It is not about filling our empty stomachs. It is not just about achieving our desires, but the fulfillment that Jesus offers. And the moment that we have received Jesus in the Eucharist, it is not just about fulfilling our obligations and responsibilities as Christians. It is also a reminder for us that we are no ordinary persons. Sa sandali na matanggap natin si Jesus sa Eucharistia, bahagi na siya ng ating sistema. He becomes part of our bodies. He becomes part of our system. And if that is the case, it only means we have to live with the eyes and with the mind of Jesus. It would be good to ask ourselves, are we hungry enough for Jesus? Are we hungry enough for the bread of life? It is not just longing for Jesus, but really understanding that as Christians, Jesus is a necessary part of our system, that Jesus is a necessary part of our life. Sometimes we are just too focused on our end goals, and we tend to forget what should really drive us as Christians. But if it becomes clear for us what or who should be our driving force, then we will also recognize our true purpose as Christians.